Thank you. Thank you so much. So great to be here. It is a wonderful pleasure to be at ABC. The first moment that I walked into this room, it was Valentine's Day last year, and about 5 minutes before, I'd been doing a Macarena in Union Square for some sort of, it was a 1 Billion Rising event. I walked in here, I heard Deepak speak on the steps, I walked in, and I walked through that door, and I said, I know that something amazing is going to happen in the future in this room, and I'm so glad that it's tonight. It's a couple times that I've been here, and this is just such a beautiful space. If you've been to the Functional Forum before, you know we keep upgrading the venue, and this is the top level. So look, we've gone up against the US Open, the Giants, and Fashion Week, and we filled the room. So look, this is a big moment. Thank you. And I'm so glad that almost everyone has a seat. I see there's a few people standing at the back, but sitting's the new smoking, so you're welcome. So look, I don't know if you guys all know what you've stumbled into here, but this is actually the first episode of the second season of the Functional Forum. And the Functional Forum started as a meetup for holistic doctors in New York, and we tried to do something very specific, which is make the first medical education that's not boring. Right? And that is a hard task because some of these concepts are very dour and need a little bit of jazzing up. So typically in our show, we got music and video. Obviously, we respect this space so much and we wanted to do it a bit differently. But I think what you'll see, what we try and do is tell a congruent story throughout the event and feature, there's so much talent in New York. There are so many amazing doctors. We haven't even scratched the surface of the quality of practitioners. And the cool thing is, the reason why we're trying to make it fun and engaging is because our real goal is to engage the medical students and young doctors who are going to be practicing this type of medicine in 5 years. They just don't know it. And they don't do it through, it has to be fun, it has to be interesting, it has to be engaging. And so that's a big part of it. But the first quote that I gave on the first night that we ever did the Functional Forum was a quote from one of my favorite doctors, and it's been the driving force of the Functional Forum ever since. And I've spent a lot of time in natural medicine. I've been doing this for 9 years. I was definitely the weird kid at school who did homeopathy and chiropractic. But I just said to the doctors on the first day, I just said, look, in natural medicine, we need to stop acting like we're losing and start acting like we're winning. Because we are winning. This is the future of chronic disease management. I'm going to tell you throughout this evening, there's been so many things that have set up what we're doing in the next week and in the next month that are just so synchronous and amazing timing, and I'm going to share some of those with you as we go along. So, yeah, this is the beginning of the second season, and it's also marking the beginning of the Evolution of Medicine Summit that started today. And the Evolution of Medicine Summit, Gabe Hoffman and I, Gabe you'll be hearing from later, we started the Functional Forum. The tagline for the Functional Forum was Accelerating the Evolution of Medicine. And the Evolution of Medicine Summit has been a direct outpouring of the Functional Forum. We wanted to do something that's scaled. But more than anything, I've been to so many amazing functional medicine seminars where doctors are learning great clinical information. I spoke at a conference called Heal Thy Practice for 3 years, and I heard how doctors were actually doing this type of medicine in a practical way, some on insurance, some in cash, and delivering evolved medicine. This information cannot hide behind a $1,000 paywall. This information has to be available to every doctor to use so that they can see the models that are actually working. So our goal with the Evolution of Medicine Summit is being able to provide something for doctors and patients that sets a vision for the future of medicine. And part of the point of this evening is to be able to share with you guys a little bit about that and to be able to sort of give a preview for the whole thing. So the Evolution of Medicine Summit started today. 2 of the speakers on the first day are going to be speaking this evening. There's a couple more in the house, but that's what we're here to celebrate. And I'll give you one example of how I feel that this summit is divinely timed, or I'm not sure if divine is the right word. You can use synchronicity, but we're in Deepak home base, so I'm going to say divine. The iWatch comes out tomorrow. Who would have thought? The iWatch is such an exciting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Apple is creating its first wearable, and it's going to be announced tomorrow. And we have our talk on the evolution of health technology tomorrow. I planned this months ago, and it just happened. That's one example of the synergy of what's happening. I'm so excited about the iWatch, and Robin's going to talk a little bit in her talk about the future of health technology. But imagine this. What happened when the iPhone came out? The hardware was there, and everyone thought that they could create an app for the iPhone, didn't they? Everyone's got an idea for an app. But look at the apps that really started to make it. Instagram and Snapchat, these are apps that sit on top of the hardware. Imagine what's going to happen when you have the intention of tens of thousands of developers, hundreds of millions of people really starting to pay attention to their health. And that is going to start very soon. I think this is a synergistic movement with what we're seeing in functional medicine that's proving itself as the most effective way of dealing with chronic disease. And so this time, this exact moment, the second week of September 2014, is a great moment at the beginning here. So what we're looking to do, and this is my other favorite quote, and if you've ever got an email from me, you'll see it at the bottom. Dr. Buckminster Fuller, he's not a doctor, Bucky Fuller, he says, you don't change the existing paradigm you don't create change by fighting the existing paradigm. To create change, you create a new system that makes the old system obsolete. And I think very quickly, in short order, we can create a new medical system based on the qualities, and we can develop a new primary care that is functional and integrated medicine. And so you're going to get a little bit of blast of that tonight.